So we got to do it all over again. See? There we go.
Oh, I thought you'd already
We're watching the Cannabis Broadcasting Group here at CBGTV.com.
I'm already into the 420, damn it.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not? Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website. Sounds like a cool website. Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
Now you can unmute now.
To Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the indivial participants.
This is
and do
funny,
not
isn't it?
necessarily reflect the
It's
opinions
very
of their
funny.
associated
I got this
organizations
button.
or
We haven't
Lifestyle
done this in a
Radio.
while. Are you ready? That's awesome. You should all know the words by now. And I don't.
Music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is how much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance with do-si-do and teach you how to cheat. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show.
On the 420 radio show.
On Lifestyle Radio.
Way behind there, lady.
Way behind.
It was like listening to an echo.
It was on. It was bang on for me.
You be quiet or I'll play this.
3, 2, 1.
That's all you get. It's like a preview for later. We'll play it again later, the whole thing.
That was still funny.
It was.
That
I
lives
honestly-
rent-free in my brain.
I should send you some sauerkraut that you can actually try. Not that gross old wine sauerkraut that you
If
grabbed.
you could send me anything, I would want some Moon Mist ice cream, but it wouldn't make it here.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
How about, what is it? Sir Stroming.
Now, hold on. Tommy is coming with Kush into Toronto a lot these days. He could be your little ice cream transportation. They do it in a night, not even. Zip, right here.
That's funny.
They've been buzzing. Tommy is and Devon have been, or Devon have been running back and forth from Ontario to Nova Scotia doing shows.
Oh, really?
So that could be your little cartage system right there. You see, now I'm telling everybody. Yeah, everybody's going to
I
ask.
can't. I have
Kush.
enough trouble getting my ice cream from the grocery store to my freezer.
Yeah, because I
Getting
forget.
it from Nova Scotia all the way here. Jeepers.
I know, eh? Where have you been hanging out that you've got an accent all of a sudden?
I hang out with all sorts of people and I just sort of like pick up their accent.
You've been hanging around with Naomi too much.
Actually, no, I have been spending a lot of time from somebody from Nova Scotia lately. So maybe, just maybe.
Well, when I go to PEI, I walk around and go, yeah. Because that's what they do, as you know, Marcel. Yeah.
I know. PEI, the only province I know that has 4 different pronunciations for the same spelling last name. And it just depends on what part of the island.
What's the last name? Can you spell it?
Cadet.
That happens in Toronto, dude. It depends on what corner you're sitting
Cadet?
in.
Cadet.
Like Godet? Godet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Goody.
Goody?
One of them is
Good,
Goody.
that makes me think of good evening.
Goody. Goody and plenty.
Okay.
Plenty goody.
I just want to say we're trying something a little bit differently. If you want to chat with us, you can on the 420 radio show page, right in the little event thing there. Please use the event thing because that way we'll see your chat and let us know you're listening. Because otherwise, we're just going to sit here, the three of us. After 17 years,
Four of us. There's 4 of us here, but one just won't unmute his mic.
Well, that's why I said the 3 of us. There you go. Hi, Dale.
Hi, Dale.
How's it going?
Good. It's funny, Dale's always got so much to say in the 420 radio chat with like all these cool pictures and articles and stuff, but you don't
He's
say much
shy.
on the show.
He's shy.
Yeah.
That's all right. I was shy when I first started too. Now look at me.
I still am.
I'm not much into the camera.
I'm an introvert.
An introvert. Oh, yeah, right.
I am. I really am. I seriously, I have to, for me to go out and speak at public events and things like that, you have no idea how much anxiety. It's no wonder I used so
I
much
have to
fucking
take you
cannabis.
guys with me or I can't speak.
You did a great job at Harvest Fest.
You ask anybody who has, I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I know how to do it. But the minute the internet goes off and you guys disappear, I'm like,
No, you already know where your safe spaces are. You know which booths you can go to and hang
Oh
out
yeah, yeah.
at. And
Yeah,
so
if I'm
as soon
having
as
a
the
panic
camera goes
attack,
off,
you'll
you're
find me in
going.
the Shatterizer booth.
What did you say about Harvest Fest, Dale?
I said you did good at Harvest Fest.
And it's from practice, years and years of
I
practice.
haven't seen
used
one
to-
picture of you from Harvest Fest this year at all, mister. Not one picture. All the
Me
pictures
either.
I've seen are from everybody else but you.
Maybe
Yeah,
he
I
was
didn't
the one behind the camera.
Yeah, that's my excuse.
Actually, you know what? I don't even think. No, I don't remember if I even took a fucking picture.
There's no, but I mean, out of all the pictures that I've seen that,
Yeah.
that Deb and other people have posted, there is not one picture of you in a booth or anywhere else.
Well, I didn't have a booth this year.
You didn't?
No.
Oh.
No. I didn't
You just
bother
had
doing
your
the
ice
booth.
cream in a cooler beside your chair.
No. I didn't even bring any ice cream. I didn't even bring
Really?
any. I didn't bring any edibles.
Wow.
No, I went down there solely to do the presentations and then hit the road and come home.
You didn't even stay this year.
Not there. I stayed in a motel down the road with a swimming pool and air conditioning.
I think that was the same hotel we
And a
stayed
solid
in when
roof
we
over your
came.
No, because when you were here, it was in a totally different location.
Okay.
Now it's down in
I-
the valley, down in the Annapolis Valley.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah,
down.
it's way down.
I
Yeah,
never
no,
got to enjoy the hotel anyways. I was at the event with you guys painting vaginas apparently.
Yeah, it's like a 3-hour drive for us. So we went and we stayed one night in the motel. The Friday night, we did what we had to do on Saturday, and then
Oh, I
hit the
got
road,
my shirt. I
come
should
home,
show my shirt. I'll get it
and
when I
got
go.
out of there before they had another storm.
Yeah, that's I would have been pissed if I had driven all the way there and all it did was fucking rain.
But Harvest Fest is going to be different this coming year, or the next Harvest Fest is going to be slightly different if everything goes according to plan. Because we've already started organizing it. And one of the things that we're really seriously looking at, trying to get half decent pricing, is renting a big ass tent. One that'll fit 10 to 20 booths. So the ones that bring the big trailers and stuff like that, they're totally fine. They have their trailers, they've got shelter and stuff like that. This would just be an opportunity for people to come. Instead of having to bring a canopy and all of that crap, they can just come in and set up in their designated area inside the large tent where the demos would be, the announcements, and everything else.
Just in case.
Well, I mean, this is 2 years in a row that they had some major weather issues.
Wow.
So, and
was it hot?
Not overly hot this year.
It hasn't gotten
not
over 25 here.
It was. Our heat index today was 37.
Well, I shouldn't laugh because it's like it was 99 and it's even been 100% or more humidity here.
Humidity.
So, yeah. Oh yeah. I've woken up last week. I woke up a couple of nights in a sweat. It was that humid.
Well, our humidex has gone all the way up to 39.
That's what ours is for tomorrow.
It's
Yeah.
really?
That was this past week.
74 in the we're outside. It's 46% in here, 28 in the greenhouse, 51% downstairs. No, I don't know which ones. Why I got to put labels.
Tomorrow is 39 here. 41.
Is it sunny?
Here now it is. Yeah.
Supposed to be. No, it's dark here now. Is it sunny in Truro?
No, I mean tomorrow.
It's still light until like
It should be
9:30.
daylight outside right now.
Until about
Here.
9:30.
Oh, I guess
What?
not there. It's 8:30. It's 8:11.
Yeah.
It's 7:11 here.
They've already been to the
It's
store and
It's
gotten.
8:15. It's already dark here.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Dale's in the dark right now.
Yeah.
And even better,
Didn't you
we
hear
have a
there's a power out? in
no,
Nova Scotia?
we have a hurricane coming next week, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's going to be exciting. So the models for the hurricane, depending on
Are
which
we getting
model you
that
look
too?
at,
We'll get
no,
the
you don't get
aftermath.
you don't get hurricaned. No, you don't.
We get the weather.
We get the
No, you
storm.
don't.
We
No,
do
you
get
don't.
some of the residual weather.
No, you don't.
Here in Toronto, we do.
Up here, yes,
No.
we do. When
From
the
our
last,
hurricanes?
when the last
Like, are you talking about the
hurricane or
ones that go up the
tornado or
south
whatever,
of, or the south or the east side of the states?
Yeah,
Like up
the ones
and
that
those
come
along.
up.
things, no, you guys get those because you're all out in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Right, but you guys don't get any of the residue from those
We
because
get
they
other
don't
stuff.
really, they don't, re- well, no, our weather systems go from west to east. We get your guys' shitty weather and pollution.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can talk
Well,
to the
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
mill
but
about
right,
that.
right in Ontario, if you look, Marcel, where Ontario sits, yeah, you're right. It comes from west to east, but it also comes from south to north, and they meet right just under Ontario and pushes out to the east.
Right, and this is what makes Atlantic Canada the armpit of
Oh, you
North
need
America.
to get a weather girl
Oh,
background,
there's
Mary
the
Jane.
news.
Mary
There's
Yeah,
Jane,
the weather.
you need to find a weather girl background for you because that was really cute the way you went, and you could be our meteorologist.
I
Our
can't even
weather.
the
remember
weather.
how to change it from the green background. But somehow.
Well,
So all of the
we could walk
smog
you through it if you like.
and your weather
Yes.
that you have in Ontario
Yeah.
comes east, as well as all of the stuff from the industrial U.S. So we get this. This is why we have
Yeah, you
such.
get all of it.
Well, we have really high rates of autoimmune diseases, cancers, everything else, because we're literally an armpit. I learned this in the 70s from one of
I'm
my
not in an
teachers.
armpit. I'm in the forest, on the edge of the water, the coldest water of all the cold waters.
Well, the hurricane that we're getting, or may not get, is being projected 3 different ways. One is for it to go into the Carolinas, North and South Carolina. That would be awesome because that would mean that it'd probably work its way up to Southern Ontario. We don't care about that. The other option is it comes straight up and hits Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I'd
Just
prefer that.
bang on. Not us.
I
And the
don't want it
third,
to come to Southern Ontario.
the third option is the cold front that's supposedly going to push down might push it out to sea and miss us completely. That's the
That's the
one
best.
I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that's the best.
But the way it's tracking, the eye of it would go right over mine and Dale's house.
Oh, really?
Yep, because the eye is that big. The eye of this thing is the size of PEI.
Yeah, they said it was pretty aggressive storm.
Well, it was a
Where's
category
it coming
5,
up
but I think it
from the
off
Gulf?
of Africa, off of Africa, where they all
Okay.
all of our
Where they all
storms
come.
come off of this from Africa, off the Sahara.
Dang you, Sahara.
Yeah.
Does it get sandy?
Actually, if you look at some satellite footages, depending on the resolution of the camera and stuff, you'll actually see a brownish cloud that goes off of Africa out into the middle of the Atlantic, and it goes about halfway across. That's the sand and dust, and dirt, and storms. But our concern, of course, is a lot of us grow outdoors, and we don't like hurricanes when we grow outdoors.
Let's not talk about growing
What
up.
would you even do to protect them if
Pardon?
they're not ready? What would you do to protect your plants?
We have
Say,
people
for
that
example,
some
like
people
it's
are.
coming. What do you do?
Yeah, some people know that it's coming, so the day before they'll put their plants into a garage or something like that.
Yeah, but mine are in the ground. I can't put them in the garage. What do I do?
Every big leaf that's on them, remove it.
Okay.
If it's any sizable leaf, because by now they should be flowering.
Yes, because
right?
that's
Yeah,
their little sails. Yeah.
So you rip every leaf off that you can, tie as many branches as you can, right, with stakes and things like that.
To
Because
prevent it
with
from
that makes
moving and
total
blowing
sense,
around.
Marcel. It makes total sense.
Well,
do that.
yeah, because with all of the heavy vegetation that's on it, it basically, like Al said, it acts like a sail. So when the wind hits it, it has something to push against, which can cause breakage to
Yeah.
your stalks and things like that.
We need
So
2
you
people, and then we can do the
you
braid
remove.
box.
Here, hang on, because I've already started.
Have you got a video that you can show us of us whatever we're talking about?
No, but I'm going to show you what the plant should look like.
Okay.
For
It's
Fiona,
just going to take me a minute because I got to email it to myself.
when Fiona hit, I put all mine together. I put all 4 together, the pots right against each other, and then I took a rope, started at the bottom, and I wrapped them all the way from the bottom up to the top, and it just like a Christmas tree wrap.
Yeah. Some people cover them in burlap for protecting shrubbery and things like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can do the same. You
But-
can cover them the same way you would do a tree or a shrub. Yeah, sure, why not?
The
But
outside
after
part
Now,
you get
got
dirt.
a question before you go on with that. When you're covering plants that are flowering, do you have to worry about trichomes and stuff sticking to what you're covering?
You're
with?
trying to save as much of the plant as possible. Who fucking cares?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, don't
Right.
worry about the outside stuff. You still got all that inside stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Mary Jane, can you turn a little bit to your left just so you're looking at me? Because you're looking at the wall and not
Yeah,
me.
I was just looking at Timmy for a second because
No,
I
no.
was doing.
What I'm getting at is the biggest thing that bugs me about this stuff is my video is usually over here looking at the wall. You see how I'm looking? I'm not
Okay.
looking at you guys.
But just so you know that if I look this way, I'm looking at a wall. I
Yeah,
don't wanna
you
look
are.
at-
I'm your wall. Hi.
No, I don't want to look at. I literally have a wall here. I don't want to
right,
look at my wall.
Back to plants. Sorry. Welcome to my world.
Yes.
Can't you move me over to the other
I
side?
just did. I just did.
But I'm looking this way.
Well, tell Timmy to fuck off, and then you'll have to look that way.
But look, my
Hi,
hair
Tim.
looks better this way. Don't you see? Don't you see?
Oh, this is your good side. Is this what it is?
Yeah. Hello.
All right. Well,
it took
I
me
will,
like an hour
I
to blow
will
dry
put you
this.
underneath, so you're looking at Dale then.
Yay! I like looking at him.
Ooh, Dale.
I'm telling you, he's always got the best photos.
I'm trying to download some right now of last year's hurricane.
Oh, those might not be good photos. I mean,
So-
they might be good photos.
So
but not as good
while
as-
everybody's downloading, do we want to talk about anything?
Not really downloading. But
I'm excited about something coming up.
Well,
anyways,
that's
if
what I
you
was
wanted
getting
to talk about what you do for hurricanes. I wasn't finished.
Oh,
Well, we were waiting for the rest of that. Yeah.
Well,
Hurricane.
because
Hurricane
option-
Marcel.
option 2 is go out and harvest them now.
That's what I'm doing tomorrow for one.
Are you serious? This
I'm
early?
seriously, I'm seriously thinking of doing it on this one. Critical course.
so that would just make it more of an uplifting
Is that the critical
sativa-like
kush?
high, right?
Is that the critical kush that you got from OCS from somebody else, or the other way around from somebody else through OCS?
No, that was the chronic critical orange,
Okay.
and it wasn't OCS, but similar. All right. So
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter where you get them from. If you get them from the same breeder, because they're all
yeah.
the same breeders,
Yeah.
right?
no, that was critical orange. It's nowhere near ready.
But you
It's
see, you know,
probably the end of middle of October, the end of October. All right.
I should have gotten some of that when it was there, when I saw it, but I didn't have the money.
And
I got something called oh crap. I had them written down in front of me and now I don't know where it is. It's behind me. Hold on. They're right here.
I still have some of those
Bruce
Violator Kush. No, I got Violator Kush seeds.
Did
from
you
Barney's farm.
you didn't Oh yes, those are good
That's
ones.
one of my
I'm sure.
favorite strains. I
Are you not growing at home anymore?
No.
okay, there's
Oh.
a stripped plant.
Is there a reason for that?
For what?
Yeah, I just don't have the time. I don't have the
Okay.
time. I don't want to do it.
And you're close to the res, and prices are manageable there.
It literally costs. It costs more to grow it right now where I am. It's
There,
ridiculous.
yes. Yeah, I don't even I have no access other than one store up here, or I grow my own, or I order in.
Well, I mean, the reality is there's probably 7 or 8 legal stores here in the town that I live in. And if I don't go see one of those,
You can
there's
always
always
go to the
Legacy
res.
420, which is like 20 minutes away from me.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Yep.
And you know, Tim, there's
And
never
they're
any
all
problems or
yeah.
issues and good
I'm gonna
stuff.
ask
And
Tim to come on the show. If you're listening to the show, if you're watching us wherever, say hi, because then we know you're listening, right? And then you become like interactive, and then you become part of the show.
Mhm.
Or
So
not. Be
let's see
afraid. Be very afraid.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
these plants here. What is this?
I'm gonna. You want to show
Make
them,
me bigger.
Dale?
No, make me bigger.
Make you bigger.
Oh, this is the 4 plants Dale was talking about that he tied up.
Oh, okay. Here's what the one that I'm gonna.
You see any big leaves?
I'll
He
show
pulled them all out.
Dale's stuff.
Exactly. Because we have a hurricane coming.
I just want to say those buds look really frosty.
They are really frosty buds.
I can see that from here. I'm like, oh,
What
those
is
look
that?
nice.
That's critical kush.
Okay, that's not an auto, obviously.
No.
And was it seed or
seed?
Clone? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not having fun with this fucking seed shit. But
So what we're doing now is we're doing all the pruning and getting rid of as much leaf and lower bud that we don't want off. And do you see that green stake that's in there?
Yeah.
Those are my
it's
6-foot
metal.
fiberglass. Well, it's fiberglass. They're like 6 feet long fiberglass.
I used bamboo last year out here because it was really windy before I got the greenhouse.
Bamboo's great, but I mean, every year you got to buy new bamboos. I buy these things every year. Every time I see them in the
Yeah, those
store, I'll
green
buy
ones
more.
are great. Yeah,
because those
the
ones are
dollar
probably
store has them usually.
6 or 7 years old. I got those at Walmart, and they were on sale for like $2 a piece. I think I bought
I'm going to
25 or
show
30 of them.
Dale's picture as well. Okay.
Yep.
So this is Dale's picture.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't have done that. And I mean, yes, it works and it makes perfect sense to do that. I wouldn't have done it only because there's that risk.
How did you make out with those, Dale? Did they work out?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they went on the ground. They got blown over, but yeah, they survived well. I stood them there of the aftermath.
That's the worst thing is when you're growing in pots. If you don't have a heavy enough pot and you've got too many leaves on, they'll blow over.
Just as you said, blow over. I changed the picture.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a risk, and that can be more damaging than just the plant by itself because you have 4 of them all going over together.
Because that's obviously before.
No, that's after.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't fare that bad. You didn't lose any bud, did you?
Well, the trichomes were beat around, and it was, sitting in water and shit.
But the other reason I wouldn't put them all together like that is because if one of them has a little bit of mold on it, they all now have mold.
Yeah.
Plus, they're wrapped in there tight and growing mold.
That's only for one night, though.
This is what I had to deal with. This is what I'm dealing with right here.
Yeah, you had bad luck with them this year, man.
You grow the best looking males.
It does. I feel bad.
Oh, where'd it go? Shit. Hold on a second here. Oh. All right, there we go. Yeah, no, I am not happy at all. And I'll tell you, buddy, some of these are your seeds.
Oh, that's all right. 50% of them are going to be male.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
Yeah, see, you can actually sex them and then like put them in a flower and sex them and find
We
out
tried
before
to.
they even get to that.
Tried to.
Oh, you didn't do it right then.
Well, no, I didn't. It's called a learning thing.
You'll know next time. You just put them in the dark.
We can hope so.
Start them in the winter.
Oh,
and you'll know what you
sorry,
got.
Dale. That was rude of me. I was trying to remove my screen. What did
No
you start them in the wintertime? Well, you
That's
know
what I.
what? I yeah. Frustration is. This is my first time ever growing from seed, so I'm frustrated. But I guess it's got to happen, right?
Unless you purchase like feminized seeds, this is a
That's
possibility.
well. Now I've done that. I have some seeds that I got from OCS because I needed to get something. I got I can't remember what they're called. I'll go look in a second. But I got 2 strains that are fem autos and 2 strains that are feminized. One of them is a Pineapple Express, and I just dropped my ashtray all over the place.
Wow.
And the other one is I can't remember because the strains were kind of like, near and far behind, right? Is that the way it's said?
I don't know how well Pineapple Express would do at your latitude or latitude.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Unless you do indoors.
That's the out of all of the seeds that they had, the feminized and the autos that they had, that's the only one that I knew that they had stock of left. So,
Yeah.
If anybody listening has a way to send me clones, please let me know. And no spiders, please.
Why not?
I don't want any spider mites. Thank you very much.
Well, if my re-veg works, I'll send you some clones from that early finisher next spring.
Yeah, but how do you send? You see, this is my thing, though. I mean, great, thank you, but how do you send them so that they come? Who did we have? We had somebody on the show that was telling me that they when they ship clones from LP to LP, they actually put a light in the box now.
Yeah,
there are special
clone shippers.
It's easy
Yeah,
to ship
there are
clone.
containers that literally the top comes off. It has a puck in the bottom, reservoir for water. It literally has the light thing. You just
Now,
click
can
on the
you
top
walk in?
and-
Can you walk into the post office and say, "I'd like to mail this"?
Well, you put it in the box.
With that, Mary Jane, can you do that?
You'd have
Put
to
it in the
like,
box.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want that. You don't want them to know what's in it.
Well, it doesn't really matter. It's
Just
none of
tell
their
them it's
fucking
a
business
plant.
what's in your mail. But put it in
Are
a
you
cardboard
allowed
box.
to send plants in the mail?
Why not? You're not
I've
sending
got
them
guns in the
into
mail.
another country.
And they're not budding, so you're covered there.
Yeah.
So I got to find out how long an overnight, like how much an
Here,
overnight would
can
cost.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you see this?
That's
Oh.
it right there.
So the bottom is the. There we go.
Are there any LPs or res stores that are
See, the
sending
top's
out
got the
clones?
light.
This is what I'm
Some?
asking.
Yes.
All right, so I need to find some.
There was LPs selling clones, but the problem is you're paying a shit ton of money for a clone from an LP.
Well, that's the fucking thing. I'm looking for equipment and stuff for the grow room. I'm looking at, hey, it's only $49 and $153 fucking shipping.
Well, no, what was Ribliotti's company out there?
I can't remember. Is he doing clones?
I think it was one of them, one of those ones from out in that area. When they first started with legalization and you could have 4 plants, they were selling clones. And I think it was for the 4 clones, it was $500.
Ooh,
but then any
$500.
clone after those 4 was $50 or something each.
They just fucking, this is the thing. Like,
so I mean,
you got to make it equal for everybody. Period.
It'll never be equal for everybody because that's not how the system works.
That's not how money making works.
But that's not
I'll
how
send you a bunch, Al, if you want to try them out.
All right.
I wouldn't. Don't base your whole harvest on it, though. Just kind of think of it as like a side project, in case they don't root.
The easiest way to do it is start some seeds. If they're feminized seeds, great. Start those seeds, grow them up, cut the tops off after you get 4 sets of leaves. root them.
Mhm.
Once they're rooted and they're actually growing leaf again, force them to flower. Right? Just take them and put them in a fucking cardboard box. But put them in the dark for 24 to 48 hours. And then start looking to see the hairs. Because if the female is coming out, usually it'll have a couple nice little hairs coming out of each of the calyxes. And then you'll know that those are truly females. You can then turn around and start cutting clones off of those plants. If you don't know what they are, then you're going to spend 3 months, 2 months, feeding a plant that you're going to chop down. And nutrients aren't
And this
fucking
is what
cheap.
I've fucking just done. I've spent the last 3.5 months feeding and watching and primping 10 plants that have all turned to fucking male.
Mhm.
Well, sorry, not all. One Hermie. There were more Hermes, but we already discarded those.
Yeah.
So not pleased at all, but live and learn. And now here's my question, though. It is September 9th, 8th.
9th.
8th. 9th month, 8th day.
Yeah.
I need minimum 60 days for these auto fems. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It'll say on the package.
So here's my question. Last year, I was in the greenhouse until October, December. I took most of them out in October. I left one in almost till Christmas.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know why I did that, but I did. Probably just to see what happened, right?
Mhm.
Am I going to be able to do that with these autos, or because of the light, as you told me?
Yep. You can if you want to put a light out there.
So no, thank you. When is the best time to bring them in? After what point do I have to keep an eye on the light cycle outside?
In all honesty, Al, I wouldn't put them out.
This is what I'm asking you, bud. Should I
It's already less than 12 hours of daylight.
All right.
Or
So
sorry,
then we're
16 hours of daylight.
So we're going downstairs then is what we're going to do.
Yep.
All
Yeah,
right.
you kind of have no choice because they're an autoflower. They require, at least a minimum of 18 hours a day of light.
What I'm worried about mostly is it's dropping down to 3 or 4 at night here. And even though it doesn't go below 10 or 11 in the greenhouse, it's going to get worse.
That's right.
So my season outside is fucked, gone.
No, your season,
any seeds?
No, because you're in a situation where you have a greenhouse and you have an indoor space.
Yes.
So when in this winter time, you start your seeds.
For outside, and they'll be going out right away.
Well, no, hear me out a bit. Let me finish. So start them in January, beginning of February. All right. For the plants that you want. Cut the tops off, force them to flower. That should be done by April. All right. You should know what sexes you have by April.
Okay.
That plant there, you start cutting off the clones that you want to put in your greenhouse and you start them vegging. And you'll have from basically the end of April until mid-June or so.
Okay.
They can then go into your greenhouse.
Well, that's that whole. Okay. So then
right? But they're going into the greenhouses as plants that are 4 feet high because you've been vegging them.
Okay.
Right? Indoors. So you're putting out half-decent plants outside. You're not putting out little stubby things and then have to sit there and wait months to grow. Now you've put them out and you're getting them used to outside and the sunlight, and they'll automatically start to flower as those days start to shorten. For you, it starts in July.
So instead of putting them out on the deck for 3 weeks, I'll just put them right out into the fucking greenhouse.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, so you try and get them out when they've got some size to them, so they can.
survive the cold.
Well, it's not that you want some quantity off it.
But it will make it easier for them to survive colder weather, though, when they're larger.
It'll be
That
hardier.
that plant that you had there that you showed the picture of as the male, if that was a female, I'd be shocked if you got an ounce.
Yeah, they were all very stringy. I didn't like the way that, and I was poking and primping and fucking.
Did you top them?
Yep, I had to because they got too big in the dome.
Next year we'll teach you about.
That's how Dean got some, because I cropped them out.
Yeah, but you're cutting clones off of males.
Yeah, well, I didn't exactly know that, did I?
No. Right, and that's the other issue that happens. And I mean, shit happens. It's not the end of the world. In your case, it's the end of your outdoor growing season.
Yeah.
But now you know what to do for next year.
Yeah. Not
first things. Yeah, first things first. Clean out that fucking greenhouse.
Yeah,
because
and that's what it's all about, learning from experience.
You've got residual pollen now all over that greenhouse.
Well, that's why I bought a big jug of vinegar and I got the pressure washer. So yeah, the first thing I'll do is I'm going to get them out of there tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going to let the dirt sit for a while, and then I'm going to put it into a big pail and mix it up so that it's all mixed up and stuff, and pull all the crap out of it. I'm not sure if I like this WP420 stuff that I got. There's a lot of fucking plant matter in the bags.
That's what creates airflow around your roots.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure, right?
And it helps retain moisture.
There's lots of stems and everything in there. So
yeah, I mean, even ProMix, which is a pretty reputable soil.
Not the white, just the regular ProMix.
Oh, not the white ones. Right? No, the general purpose
doesn't have anything in there. But the other ProMix that I was using for the veg and flower,
yeah,
that did, yes.
Yes, and that's to create airflow around the roots.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a bad thing.
They even took her cool chair. Look at that. Left her with a fucking camping chair.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That bites. Where are we at? 8:40.
8:40, 7:40.
Okay, I had some news I wanted to talk about, but I got to finish.
How's your plants doing this year, Dale?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
We're starting to get into the mold season. I go out every morning and scope them out and pick off little pieces here and there.
One thing that I'm enjoying is I've got one window fully open, and I've got the other window that's automatic, so it opens and closes on the humidity thingy, right? On the arm, and it works really well. I don't even and it's not getting really hot in there, and the humidity is not as bad as it was. Like, you go in there last year and it was just like and now it's not. It's tolerable. It's not like you're walking into a sauna. So I'm hoping that next year now that I've got this system working with the pots and all that and the windows, I won't have any powdery mildew like I did last year.
Oh, you had some up there, did you?
Well, don't you remember I washed it? I washed all my plants on the air.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you did.
Yep, I did. Now, should I do that anyways? I guess I don't have to if I don't have any issues, eh?
I tend not to, but a lot of people do. It's personal choice.
Yeah.
I missed it. What?
I know some people do it because they want to wash bugs off, well as
there's lots of different reasons for doing it. Some people do it just to do it.
Doing what? Washing your plants?
Washing your plants like I did last year. Downstairs in the basement.
I never liked to do it because I always thought I was just adding moisture to the plant, and then I had to dry it. But I get why people do it.
I understand why they do it, but you get You know, 10 or 20 fucking plants. The last thing you want to do is spend a week washing them.
I want my farm back.
And you lose a lot of terpenes too. You lose the flavor and stuff.
Seriously, the year that I got off at the farm there, that was a good one for me.
Yeah.
And that was my first. There was no mold. There was no nothing. I got every bud. There was no dry
That
rot.
was your
nothing.
first year, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that was just beginner's luck.
That was also all
once
clones.
you get used to that spot
Al?
and you learn the growing there, you'll be good.
I know.
That same year, I pulled 22 pounds off of 19 plants.
Yeah, I got 2 pounds.
Nice. This year we've had such horrible fucking weather.
Are you going into adolescence or something there, buddy? Because your voice just cracked.
Who? Mine?
You were like,
I got a cough. No, we've had some really shitty weather here with forest fires,
Terrible
flooding.
Oh, here too. We've got, the forest fires are all around us. I got choppers flying over my house 20 feet off the fucking ground looking
It's been a weird wet.
The one advantage I have is I
season.
live in a no-fly zone because this used to be part of an Air Force base back during World War II. So helicopters can't fly over my house. Planes can't fly over unless they're above 3,000 feet or something silly. It's pretty awesome.
Well, I've enjoyed the summer. Last week there were a couple of days where the humidity was so bad, as we talked about earlier, that I was uncomfortable. And the dog was uncomfortable too. But I'm learning the flow of the house. I've had the furnace on all summer. It gets that chilly at night here.
That's crazy.
I've had our heat pump set on dehumidifier all summer.
I
And
wish
have not gone to air conditioning at all because all we need to do is get rid of the humidity and the temperature gets down enough.
I've got the
friggin' nonstop rain.
Pardon me?
I've got the
Nonstop
dehumidifier
rain.
downstairs in the grow room for when I need it.
Yeah, what did Dale say?
I don't know.
It's been nonstop rain.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I know. It's crazy. Now we're looking at another week's worth of rain coming.
Fuck, eh?
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna take that one tomorrow.
We went out to a cannabis farm and they were saying it's been a shitty growing season just because of all the rain, which means not a lot of sun, which means not a lot of growth. You'd think a lot of, oh yeah, let it rain. The plants need water, but they got too much water.
My plants are half the size of what they normally are.
Yeah, it's fucked up here.
That's how bad it is here. And I mean,
I wonder if people growing in sand over soil did better this year.
Why?
Well, because with all the rain, and traditionally sand is drier.
I have cloth pots. The water runs right out.
Oh.
Lack of sun.
Right? It's the lack of sun. We've gone like days without sun.
Well, I think all of July was all rain. The whole fucking month.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty much rain almost every day for the month of July here.
Yeah, I had a friend at the beginning of August said to me, they're saying summer is over. And I was like, fuck you. Don't fucking say that. And she was right up until last week when it got really stupid hot. It was cold and it was shitty.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Global warming. It's a thing.
The hazards. Fuck that global warming. I don't buy into that shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's global warming. That's why it's heating up, right?
Yeah, but it's not man-made global warming. This is my problem.
No.
All the tax money in the world's not going to stop this.
I'm like, I think we've had this discussion before. This is literally, we've been coming out of the ice age, or it's been warming since we've been coming out of the ice age.
This is like using a mask and a vaccine to fucking stop the cold. Same thing, no difference.
I'm still wondering why nobody said anything about respiratory illnesses going in through your eyes. Why did we not have to wear goggles?
Because respiratory illnesses don't go through your eyes. So.
Well, and they also don't go up and over barriers in between you and the table beside you either.
Yes, they do. And I'll tell you why.
No,
Because
I was being sarcastic because you know
I know,
mandatory
but
you can still catch it.
Well,
the one that gets me is the people that think the mask protects them. So for anybody that thinks the mask protects them, you wear it and have somebody fart.
Well,
And you let me know when you can smell that fart.
it does protect
Right?
them, but the only thing
It does
protects
not
them
protect
from,
them. It only protects them from spitting on somebody.
we went
No,
through
it
the
protects
whole of
their
COVID
comfort
and didn't have
level.
one argument. And now listen.
No, it protects their comfort level up here because they're comfortable with being around people now because they feel protected, right?
Let
But
me
there's
ask
no
you a
protection.
question. If they
The protection
mandatory
is
make if
mental.
they make masks
It's a
mandatory
thought.
again, are you going to wear one? No, I will
Nope.
not.
Did I wear one
Didn't
before?
the last time.
Okay, so we're all good.
It's
Like actually no, I did. I bought a special mask and it was a rhinestone mask and it was like more it was less mask than it was mask.
Did you feel like a rhinestone cowboy?
No, I felt like I could breathe and that's all that
You
matters.
didn't even know that song?
Yes.
Who sings
Like
it?
a rhinestone cowboy.
And who sings it?
I don't know. I've seen it on movies though. I don't know who sings it.
don't
Before
say
my
it.
time.
I know it, but for some reason Chris Christopherson keeps kicking in my head, but it's not
No,
him.
it's not Chris Christopherson.
I know it's not. I know Nestor Pister did the knockoff, which was "I'm a Rhinestone Plowboy."
Oh my.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, who is it?
I can't remember his name, but I see his face in my head.
Yeah.
All right, Google it. Google it.
I gotta look it up now. Hang on.
That's funny. You asked me like you knew. You don't even know, Al.
No, I can't remember his name. I do.
Ben Campbell.
Thank you very much. Fuck.
Yeah. See, that's why Chris Christopherson, because they were both right around the same era.
Yeah.
You ever want to watch a good documentary? Watch one about him. It's all about when he progressed into Alzheimer's.
You know
It's
what's
Ben
on?
Campbell? I
Yeah,
would
it's
want to
really
see that.
moving, actually.
He was very, very vocal right up until he left us about his Alzheimer's. The Last Waltz is up on Prime. Although I haven't watched it yet. It is there. Thanks, Marcel.
Dying.
This is a pot show.
This is
Wow.
Darcy's hash.
Oh,
Darcy's
blaming
trying
on
to kill me.
Darcy's hash.
Oh, fuck me.
Choking on
No,
some
don't.
Darcy.
That wasn't an offer to anybody. Thank you.
Choking on some Darcy, are you?
I thought you were talking to your wife.
Sure, buddy. Has some of this.
I wanted Darcy to be on today. Today is our 10th anniversary of being Facebook friends.
You know what?
Aw.
You're about 10 years for this. Mary Jane's at 5. I'm at 17.
I'm at 6.
Is it 6?
Yeah, I think she's
Yeah.
around 6.
Marcel's about 10.
I know, I'm
mean,
like,
there's-
I can't believe it's been 6 years. Next year is my 10-year anniversary as an advocate, like a public advocate, not just like behind the shadows. But when I said "fuck you," I'm actually coming out.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, only 10,
Uh,
but still.
What year was that? 2008.
You know what's scary? I've
I
been
think
kicking it
2008
for
is
5
when I
years
started
already.
becoming an advocate.
Gail, what
Yeah.
did you say?
I say, you know what's scary? I've been kicking around here for like 5 years or so already too.
4, anyways. Darcy's
I know it flies.
4. I 3 or 4, anyways. I think Darcy's been around for 5.
5 for Darcy, I think. About the same for Lenny.
4 for
Just-
Lenny. We were farting around for about a year before Len. And here's the funny thing though. This is like the 5th group
Yeah.
of people that I've had on the show. It started out much
Well,
different.
when I joined, it was just Marcel and Al.
And Ross.
when I
Oh yes,
joined,
and
Good
Ross.
about Ross.
I
Ross was
forgot
awesome
about
on the
Ross.
show. Yeah, you know,
Mhm.
I thank Ross for all of his
I'm
knowledge.
like, I didn't actually forget about him because we just had him on a show, but I forgot about him being on the pod.
how's Ross doing?
Good.
He's
He,
retired
Good.
apparently.
yeah, he and Deb are out in Nova Scotia. Got a house out there.
No
Fixing it
way.
up. Yeah, man. Reach out
There
to
you
them. They're on
go. Now you
Facebook.
can have him back on the show.
Yeah, we can
Well,
bring him back.
I didn't know if you two made up or not.
No, we haven't spoken, but you know, if he wanted to come on as a guest, I wouldn't mind that. I do miss having the guy around. You know who else is out in Nova Scotia working for the company that he works for is our buddy Kurt, Mr. Geesley man.
Nah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's out there building houses or renovating houses.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I started, the hosts were
Amy. and I.
Amy. Well, no, I was a guest for that show.
No, but it was at that back then. It was just Amy and I.
Yeah, it was Alan, Amy, Lori.
Amy Brown, Amy.
I can't even
Amy
imagine what
Anonymous.
that would have been like. Just a
Lori
show
was
with-
on.
You know what? She was. No, you're right. It was Amy and Lori and I.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Brian. But
Brian
Brian was never on. Brian was in the background.
Brian came
Brian was
on
like
again
Dale?
for a little while, but not very long. Yeah, yeah. Anyways,
Well, Brian stayed for a while when I was there, but
he's still very much around, but not in the back side. You know,
I
the
came
back
on
side.
the show with Amy as a guest, brought up an article that I had written that pissed
Had
Amy
an
off so
argument,
much,
and then she left. Yes, we
and
all
she
know.
never
this.
ever came back. So they
Oh,
made
Wait,
Marcel
you
had
were
to
her
stay.
last show?
they made me take her
Amy.
place
Marcel had
Amy. Oh.
because I made Amy leave.
That's
I wrote an
okay.
article
She
about
got the BBD.
That's funny.
I wrote an article about cooking with cannabis is stupid because after you've decarboxylated it, why would you cook it twice? You're just vaporizing it off. Yada yada yada. It's pure simple science and logic. She read it, and I don't know. I guess she thought it might affect brownie sales or something. That's stupid. I don't know.
Well,
But I mean, and that's fine. And then we had Lori,
I don't
and then
think
we
it did,
had
though.
Jess.
no, Lori was around for many years before Amy, and then Amy joined us, and then Lori left when.
No,
Yeah, Lori.
no,
Yeah,
we had Jess
Oh yeah,
for a while.
Jess.
We've had Chris Backer.
Oh yeah, Chris Backer. Yeah.
We had Ross Middleton.
Ross. Yeah.
Lori was on for all of those ones.
Lori was on before you came on.
Lori
because
was.
I
She
Lori was the one that
about-
kept bringing me on as a guest.
she kept, but she was on for a long time. Just me and her.
Yes. Yeah. And then the falling out happened, and Lori left, and it was
There
you,
was,
me,
there
and
was no
Ross.
falling out. She just left.
Well, there was a bit of a falling out.
Not for me. Maybe for you.
Well, it was me and Ross.
It was,
Because-
you know what it was? It was the legal aspects that Lori does not agree with, and she didn't want to be a part of it anymore. You guys were both going into the legal market, and she didn't want anything to do with it.
I wasn't going in the legal market.
You were going to work for Truro.
Not then.
Well, it was around when all the legalization stuff was going on, and you know, quite frankly, there were a lot of mindsets that got changed, and a lot of people left, and a lot of people went their own way, and some people went to the legal market, some people dropped out of it completely, and Lori's still very much around. I see her posting and stuff like that all the
So
time.
do I. I see her posting.
She
and
just decided she did not want to be a part of the cannabis community anymore, and I don't fucking blame her. I should have
I
done
know.
it 10 years ago too.
It's
Like,
a
maybe that's why I don't know this person.
It's
I
a
got into the
hateful-
community in 20.
It's very vengeful. It's very
it's a
hateful.
hateful, vengeful.
It's and
backstabbing.
fighting is what gets me. I don't.
I
You
feel like-
cannot win anything with anger, and that's
feel
what
like
that community was about. Anger.
I just need to say it's not just the cannabis community. It's
Oh, no,
every
it's everybody now.
community.
It's everybody like that.
But it literally, it's what is their intention and their personal intention for being in this space, whether it's the cannabis the space, the church space, the education space, politics, whatever.
Well, yeah, but
What is your intention there? If you have intention of doing positive for the plant and for it to advance the laws and the whatever,
my
then
issue is
those are the people I want to align with, not the people like you're talking about. You know who you are.
we don't need nothing changes from anger, period. And a
No.
lot of the people that have have come and gone were angry people to begin with, who thought they could use their anger to change the minds of people, and it doesn't work that way.
Oh,
I mean, cannabis is a social plant. It's social, not fighting.
here's a saying that you will like, Al.
Yes.
Your temper is the one thing you cannot get rid of by losing. So you can't lose your temper and get rid of it.
No, but you can learn how to alter it.
Well, yeah, anger is normal. It's just like
Well, yeah, of
happiness
course.
or
If,
sadness.
couples
It's an
don't
emotion,
argue.
but it's how you deal with it.
When a couple says we don't fight ever, bullshit. Because if you don't have little squabbles, if you don't have conversations,
Like the newbie and I don't fight, but we have disagreements.
yeah, he
And
gets told to
discussions.
he gets told to do what you say, and he says okay.
Nope. No. I'll be honest. We've had disagreements, but
I
we
know
don't
you
have
have.
arguments.
Well, but you see, okay, but
That's about intention, though. We intend to have a relationship that is,
because you communicate, but the art of
respectful. Exactly.
communication as a whole has dissipated immensely in the last 20 years.
Not my house.
Well,
Because
I find in general
we communicate, but we're
conversation
usually laughing at everybody else.
conversation is gone.
Okay, so I'm guilty. I will tell you, I've had conversations with people over the last 5 years where I've learned through the conversation
That I
how
don't
to
like
speak
those
better
people.
to people, because that I'm not speaking the way I should be communicating properly. And I'll tell you why I do it is because when I grew up, the communication that came from my mother was yelling. It was demanding. It was attacking. It was always like.
But that's also
So,
generational.
well, exactly. But this is what we learn. This is what we learn as communication.
Yes.
So, like, when I'm trying to deal with my children, I have to stop and think, is this the appropriate way to communicate? And I think that not enough people actually stop themselves and think about that. They just go off of what they've done for years, and that's just who they are.
Well, it's continuing the circle, and yeah, you're right. But when I say the art of communication is gone, I mean people don't like. I don't remember the last time my phone rang and it was just a friend calling to say hey.
Yeah,
It doesn't
people
happen
don't call.
anymore. People don't call anymore. You used to sit there, and I long for those 4.5 hour conversations. My sister and I still do it. I do it with Kelly all the time. I do it with David. We just sit there on the phone.
I
And
think it's important to have at least one person that you can do that with. Like I do this.
You should
This
be
exact
able to
same
do that.
thing, like this
It
video
used to
call.
be
We do
all
this
your
every day.
used to be all your friends were like that. You'd have a party line. You'd be all like, zip, zip, zip. Okay, I'm gonna have it. Who's snoring? It's Al. Oh, hi. Are you still there? No, you hang up. You hang
They're
up.
like, Al, get up.
Like even in our 20s, we were doing that. Now we don't do that anymore. We
Yeah, I don't.
we hold on
Everybody,
to this
most people
stupid
listening are
thing.
probably like, "What's a party line?" Because
Yeah.
party lines didn't exist when I was around. I know
Well,
what
we
it
certainly
is.
did. At the cottage, when your parents took you to the cottage when you were a baby, okay, we had party lines, right? Yeah,
Never had one.
you don't like talking on the phone, but you sit here every week with us.
Touche. No, I'm
No,
not a
I
fan.
have I have a group of girls that we video chat every day. Like we are just having like meeting for a tea or a coffee. We sit down with our tea and our doobie and we just do this.
I long for that. I long for that with that type of person, but I don't have those. They just don't make people like that anymore.
Well, if anybody
you
out
need
there
to
is
get yourself
listening,
a Darcy. Al
If
needs a
anybody's
Darcy.
listening and
No,
yeah,
I
wants
don't like Darcy that much.
well,
No,
if
you need a Darcy because
Hey,
Darcy and I
Darcy.
talk pretty much every day or every second day.
Well, I talk to Dean, a few times a week, but I'm not really a let's have a chat every day kind of person. Anyway, sometimes I just want to be left alone, quite frankly.
Well, that's an issue.
That is me and my mood disorder. Yes.
Yeah, that's an issue, not an issue me.
No.
The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject. Marcus Aurelius.
That's
Marcus
true.
Aurelius was a pretty smart guy.
Yeah. Who was he?
Marcus Aurelius?
Yes.
You got to look up Marcus Aurelius.
You already did.
No, I'm just reading a quote from him.
Oh, okay.
are we telling wise quotes? I got one.
Well, you already did.
Which one? Oh, the other one. Okay. Well, this one, just the one you said, made me think of one.
Marcus Aurelius was born in 121 AD and died in 180 AD.
So it's nobody I would know.
And he was
You're a very loud roller, Mary Jane.
He was the Roman emperor from 161 to 180 AD.
So he's an emperor,
Right. He was the emperor of Rome.
Yeah, he was a character in the Gladiator.
She's offended. She's muted us.
Yes, he was. And his most famous quote is, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength."
That's basically everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that is.
Let's wait for the emails on that question.
Yeah, I think more so that would be, don't worry about something that might not ever happen.
Yeah, and that's that's valid too, because I keep
There's
telling
a lot of
David,
people that stress themselves over shit.
keep
that
telling
may or may
David
not
that
happen.
don't worry about things like he's like, and this is gonna happen, and that could happen, and that could happen. I'm like, dude, don't worry about things until it happens. When it happens, then you worry about it. Because
I would say it's probably 80% women that do
I
that.
kept fucking saying.
No, I disagree there. I think
you're gonna fall down the stairs. You're gonna slip
I
down
say
the fucking
80.
stairs.
I think a lot of
I did
men
it.
would do it as well. But
Well, I will tell you, I have plan A, plan B, and just in case plan B doesn't work out, I generally have C through E as well.
Everybody
this
should.
is something I'm learning just recently. No, think about this, okay? Burning Man. Let's just, for example,
you just got a finger shook.
Burning Man. No, let's use it as an example.
Burning Man
All
didn't
these
go off
people
very
went.
well this year.
All these people, they bought their tickets. They
Yeah.
went out there. They had their campers, their
Yeah.
food, their clothes, their whatever. And what happened? It fucking torrential downpour. Everybody got trapped.
Same thing happened at Woodstock.
You made plan A. Plan A was to go there with your RV, with your food, with your friends, with your clothes, and
Think about the rain.
something happened. You wouldn't have been able to plan for plan B or plan C through D or E because why? You wouldn't have known that it would have torrentially downpoured. You wouldn't have checked to see where the closest hotel is. You wouldn't find out if you could get an Uber
Let's talk
or how
about
you're
Harvest
getting out of
Fest,
there.
shall we? Same thing.
You plan for one thing and you have a backup, and after that, you just
Was there
make
a backup,
the best
Marcel?
fucking.
I mean, what you do instead of worrying about what could happen,
just do it.
Prepare yourself in case it does.
Okay, now
right?
for some,
But that's worrying about it too.
No, it's not.
Has
I'm going to Harvest Fest.
anxiety, it's hard to do that, Marcel. When you have anxieties, I mean, I am afraid of.
Think about it.
Everything.
You're going to go to Harvest Fest.
Fest. Yeah.
All right. It's a good example.
Yes.
We're in Nova Scotia. Our weather can change in 5 minutes here.
Yes.
I mean, we can have sunshine and super high heat, and the next minute we've got thunder and lightning, torrential downpour, hail, and high winds. Right. So you're going to an outside festival camping. you've got to be prepared
Bring a raincoat.
for
I'll be right back.
any eventualities, especially when it comes to the weather. I grew up as a kid hunting and fishing and shit in the woods, usually by myself. My parents had a rough idea of what direction I was be in, always, whenever I went. I always had extra food just in case, but I know how to trap and catch food to eat, but just in case. I know different routes to get home, just in case. And I'm talking when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old doing this. This was normal for me to go walk 5 miles back in the middle of nowhere to go fishing for a day. People today don't prepare for any eventuality until it happens, or they sit and worry about what might happen, but don't stop to prepare themselves for it.
Well, what I was trying to get at, Marcel, let's use Harvest Fest like you are. What if the road washed out and there was a fire and there was no way to leave that location, just like at Burning Man, stuck at
Actually,
this
there
location.
is. There's 2 roads in.
No, one of them is washed out. The other one you can't get out. There's no possible way to get out of there.
Fine.
But you couldn't pre-plan for that, is what I'm getting at.
No,
You
exactly.
couldn't
That's
pre-plan. You just
that's
deal
the
with it in the
emergency.
moment.
Right. And how do you
Which is
deal
why
with
I'm
something like
saying
that?
don't think like those people, which I'm saying I'm trying not to be that person because it's not healthy for me to go. For example, I'm going to this event for 4 days.
Yeah.
And I can plan for my clothing, I can plan for sleeping and travel and food and all this other stuff. But if the power goes out at the event or if something like things that I can't control, I'm not
What
going
if
to
there's a
worry about
force?
all of this stuff.
Right. Here's a good example. We
It's just
have a
too
hurricane
much.
coming.
Yeah.
It may or may not hit us.
No.
We have people that are actively freaking out
So
because
you plan,
they're
like
they're
you're
in
saying, you
panic
got to
mode
plan for it.
because we might get hit with a hurricane. My attitude is, all right, I'm going out and taking the leaves off my plants.
Yeah.
Right? That way I'll lose as little as possible off my plants. It's just a fucking windstorm and it may or may not hit us. If the leaves are off my plants, even better because it's less for me to do when it comes time to harvest. Right? They've already been pre-trimmed, more or less. That's the difference. Why sit here and worry about what might happen when I could go out and do something in case it actually does happen?
Yeah, you got to make the
Yeah, but
best of the
see,
situation.
there is something
Always.
to prepare for the worst, but also expect the best.
And it could come from my military background. I mean, you always had to be prepared for the unpreparable.
Yeah, but if you're saying you used to do that when you were a kid with your parents, Marcel, I think it starts earlier than that, unless you were in the
Yeah.
military as a youngin.
Oh, well, I was pretty young in the military.
I
Because
know
I
my
went
friend's
through
mom
cadets,
used to.
then I went through the reserves, and then I went through the regular forces. And
Blue Moon.
Well, military definitely does help because you guys are built differently. My friend's dad was in the military and literally got his daughter and kids in it, and he would drop, like you say, he would drop them off in the middle of the woods or say like, "Here's all your tools, go home.
Yep.
I'll meet you there."
Yep.
And this was before cell phones and shit. Like,
and then, but when I joined the
dinner.
military, they would still do that to me, but they would pay me for it. So it was awesome,
Nice.
right?
Hey, did you ever let them do any testing on you while you were in there?
Nope.
I heard about that. Like they just
I
line
did.
up and they just like jab you with these shots in the arm and just send you on your way.
That's not testing. That's your inoculations. So everybody has
Sure.
no. Everybody has to be inoculated for TB.
Well, that's normal stuff. But why do you have to do that as an adult?
Because you're going to be tasked with going to other countries.
Oh, I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Because if you were to go to another country, they always make you get shots before you go.
Right. So, I mean, we went to the Middle East. So before we went to the Middle East, we had to go in for a series of shots for that. Malaria, shit like that.
When I went to Europe, we had to go for shots too back in the 70s. So.
Yeah. I mean, but these are shots have been around since the 40s and 50s, right? So they've been deemed safe for years.
They're called
It's
boosters.
not new shit that's fucking with your DNA. So yeah, we never had testing of. I mean, I did an atropine test one time, and that's not something that I would go through again. But it was an eye opener on how it works. Pardon me?
That sounds funny. A natropine.
Atropine.
What's
Atropine is a drug that if you come in contact with a nerve agent, it's the only thing that's going to save your life.
Is it the same kind of thing as that?
And you literally have seconds
Sloan
to
kind of thing.
No,
So-
you literally have seconds to get it into your system.
Oh, okay.
So nerve agents are used in chemical warfare, and it attacks your central nervous system and shuts down respiratory and everything else. Atropine basically goes in and slows everything down, your entire nervous system, to basically keep you stable until they can get you to a hospital, because you ain't going nowhere. You can't move, walk, or anything. I would like to say I did a test on CS gas, but that was more of a punishment than anything. We had to go and do our gas training, and I learned a couple valuable things that day. CS gas is essentially, it's military grade tear gas. This stuff will burn the eyeballs right out of you. And they take everybody with their gas masks, put them in a little hut, make them do jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever, just to get sweating happening, especially like the crotch area and the armpits. Then they turn on the gas, and you have your gas mask on the whole time. You start to feel the burning sensation anywhere that you have open pores. Basically, anywhere where you sweat it. Then at the end, when it's time to go out, you line up in a line, and somebody's at the door wearing a gas mask with the door closed. And when you come up, you take a deep breath, hold it, remove your masks, say your name and the last 3 digits of your social insurance number. And then they'll let you go out the door. So when I got up, I took the mask off, and instead of holding my breath, I breathed out and breathed in, said my name, said the last 3 of my social insurance, and these guys were looking at me. And one of them, the sergeant, was there, and he said, "Are you breathing?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Actually, this kind of smells nice." And he opened the door and he made me get out. So then he turned around. The next group are going in. He made me go back in the entire time without a gas mask on. And yeah, my eyes watered a bit, but I had no problem breathing the gas. So years later, we were on a grenade or on a rifle range doing weapons trials for the M16 rifles, and all of a sudden I could smell something, and I couldn't place what the smell was, but I knew I liked the smell. So I'm sitting there breathing this in, trying to remember, where do I know this smell from? Somebody else starts freaking out. Gas. They all take off running to get out of it. The grenade range across the road was firing gas grenades, and the wind was blowing it all over to us. And I'm sitting there breathing this gas in, thinking, this smells great. I wonder what this is. I like this smell.
Where have I smelt this before?
Yeah. So the CS gas, the initial breath makes you want to cough. If you don't cough, then you won't start, because once you start coughing, you won't stop. So you get over that initial cough, and I probably credit that to a lot to cannabis for the amount that I smoked before I got to that stage. So, yeah, cannabis. But yeah, if there's a riot and they fire gas, I'm staying.
You wouldn't have to. Yeah, you're staying. Yeah,
I'm staying.
Give me it. Give me
Marcel's
it.
over there going,
Fuck yeah, I love this smell. Fire more, fire more. Send it all. We were on an exercise one time, and I got in shit because I didn't put my gas mask on, and there was gas grenades. But I was helping my buddy who was coughing his lungs out and puking from coughing so much, helping him get his mask on. So the boss comes over and he said, "Why isn't your mask on?" And I said, "I was helping him." And he said, "Get your gas mask." And I'm literally standing in a trench that is nothing but a fog of this gas. I pulled my gas mask off and put it on, and he looked at me and he said, "Where's the filter canister?" I said, "They're all out." I said, "They're waiting for more on resupply." I said, "I don't have one." And I said, "Can I take this off? Because I can actually see better without it." So we had a big gas attack. I didn't have a gas mask, which was fine by me.
you're lucky you're still here. You're special. You got something like internally that you could just.
Yeah, it won't let me fucking die.
Who do you keep whispering to, Dale?
His wife. He's whispering to his wife.
No, I'm outside. I'm sitting here by myself. Me and the dog.
Oh, I thought it was the dog.
He hears somebody on a sidewalk, so he's running around checking shit out right now.
We got some comments on the chat from Blue Moon. And Blue Moon wanted to know why they don't do it later in the year with Burning Man. And in all honesty, it doesn't matter what time of year you do it. It could rain anytime. That was a desert that
Nevada, right?
hardly ever gets rain. That can happen at any time. It's not because of that specific time of year.
It's happening more now because of
The
Come on,
natural
say it,
cycle.
Mary Jane. Say it because
The
of
natural cycle of the Earth melting the glaciers.
This term that
Raising-
they're calling warming of the globe.
Why don't we
and
call
the
it what it
coughing
is?
of Marcel.
Yeah. Why don't we call it what it is? The last of the last ice age.
Is
Because
it the
once
last though?
it's the
How
last
much
of the
longer
last
we
one.
have?
Well, as soon as it finishes melting and then temperatures drop again and very likely have a shift to the poles slightly, and
But that could be another 100 million.
Then we'll all be walking around
I
like
don't
this.
know, years.
this could last for another 250 years. But I mean,
It's not going to affect us or our children or our children's children.
well, it is already kind of because, I mean,
Yes,
the increased temperatures, yes, is
We're
a
about
big
to see a
concern.
huge food issue. That's for sure.
Right, that's our
With
problem.
everything
Is
that's grown
droughts
this
and
year.
flooding.
Yep.
We've got flooding in parts of the world, and we've got droughts in the other part of the world.
it's
But this
not
is
just
all
been a
during
shitty cannabis year.
right. This is shitty every year.
Yep.
The
There's going
forest
to be
fires.
a big lack of corn this year as well.
hmm
Everything that grows from the ground is going to be. I'm telling you, by next year, you think food prices are bad now?
$35 for a fucking sirloin steak up here.
Oh yeah, I would be bad up there.
Yeah, that's why
I
people
can still
go
get 'em
get a
for
moose.
$6.70.
Al, you should learn to hunt.
You know
Go
what?
get a deer and a moose.
My sister's coming from Alberta.
It's 104 Fahrenheit in Texas today.
And I'm going to
What's
ask
that
her
in
to bring
Celsius?
some bison steaks.
40.
Well, that'd be all right.
I want to try
40
some
degrees. 40 degrees Celsius is nice.
bison. Wow.
Where's that?
No,
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, but you expect Texas to be hot, don't you?
Blue moon to Texas,
Hot.
but it's a dry heat. I
Hot.
love when they say, but it's a dry heat. Arizona, but it's
Making
a dry
fun of my
heat.
accent again.
Texas
Jeez.
is hot.
I had a stopover in Dallas one time, and
I've never been.
I got off the plane and I had like an hour or two to kill before the flight.
That's not true.
went
Yes,
on.
I have. I've driven through on the way to
And I thought, all right, the airport was nice, air conditioned, it was nice and cool and everything, to the point where it was actually too cool. And I thought, all right, well, I'm going to go out and have a smoke. And walking out, it was like hitting a wall, a solid wall. that I had to push through that was nothing but over 100 degrees plus like 95% humidity. And I go out, have a quick cigarette, and think, there's no way I can stay here and go back in. Go to Arizona, 100 degrees, go out, and there's like 2% humidity. It's totally dry, and it's totally different.
California. Yeah, I was in California.
Yeah. Humidity makes a big difference on how you feel.
Well, it's very humid up here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So even in the winter, it's humid up here. So
I live in a province that's almost completely surrounded by ocean.
I know.
We have.
When does humid become moist though? Because like there comes a time of
when
year
you-
when it
when
gets
you wake
damp,
up-
right?
when you wake
After
up in
about
the puddle.
70%.
Yeah.
Right, like you get
Starts-
damp in the cold, and
Last
then
year,
when it chills your
uh,
bones,
in-
you're freezing.
Last year in October, I guess, I had a condensation on my ceiling in my office here in the corners on the outside wall that was being caused by hot and cold, and I wasn't running the furnace. Now I'm running the furnace every now and then, and it's keeping it drier in the house.
Does your furnace have a dehumidifier on it or a
Nope, but it's
humidifier?
gonna fucking have one next year.
Okay, because you can. When I lived in PEI, we
You
had
can get them. They just attach right to them, and they just run water all the time, and the air goes through the water. I have a blue light filter on it.
Ours was slightly different, the ones that we had, and it ran a dehumidifier during the summer months, but a humidifier during the winter months. Because in the wintertime, it's much drier and you need some humidity in your house, right? So this was a great attachment to the furnace.
Somebody's hungry.
But all summer, we've been running ours at around 61%, which keeps the house cool and keeps us dry and not sticky. But we go outside and it's like 98% humidity, almost to the point of drizzle, which is right around 98%.
Well, it's 81% outside right now
For humidity?
for humidity.
Let me take a look and see what ours is.
1%, 11 Celsius, 15 in the greenhouse, 55%, 44% in the house, 21.2. This is the weather forecast for the evening in Terrace Bay, Ontario. Thank you for listening.
And East Coast of Canada is 21 degrees. And humidity is 90%.
I got a thing when you're done to play.
And it's staying 20 degrees and humidity 90% all the way through until tomorrow morning.
Yep. It's crazy.
When it goes up to 93% and higher temperature.
Yep. In Nova Scotia. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
420 Radio Show. 420radio.ca. Hey, you can hear us on 420radio.ca and see us on CBG TV. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
CBG TV is the way to broadcast your message to an audience looking for your products or services. Affordable advertising, personalized campaigns, special promos, event attendance, and more. Talk to someone today, in person or by email. Find us online at www.cbgtv.com. Or you can.
Hey, this is Cheech. And this is Chong. And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio. What is it? Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time. 420 Radio? Woo!
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Are you an independent musician? How would you like to have your songs played on hundreds of radio stations just like the one you're listening to right now? Join MusicSubmit.com and we'll promote your music to radio stations and blogs in your genre. It's free to set up your account, and we guarantee your music will be considered for airplay by radio stations worldwide. Why not sign up today? It's free. MusicSubmit.com. Radio promotion for indie musicians.
This is how we grow the weed.
Okay, we're back.
Hey, at this time of night right now in Austin,
He goes
Texas.
right back into the weather.
Well, no, I brought up windy. I wanted to see what the temperature was in Texas right now, and it's 40 degrees.
He's in San Antonio.
San Antonio.
I've been there. I've been through there, I think.
I don't even know where San Antonio is.
Texas.
I know, but like,
Is it not on the Mexican border? I don't know. I don't know exactly where it is. Is it
San Antonio del Bravo, 39 degrees right now.
Is it right on the border?
Yep.
Yeah.
San Antonio del Bravo.
Hey, buddy, go get us some Mexican brickweed.
Oh fuck no! Please don't. I don't even know if you can still get Mexican brick. Yeah, got to remember the Alamo.
Got some growing in the greenhouse right now.
Mexican brickweed. Oh, that stuff was terrible but fun. I mean, when you got a brick of it and you're trying to pull it apart to see what it actually is, and dissecting.
What was it? Yeah. I mean, I don't even know. We don't even know what it was back then. We didn't have strains back then. It was just, this is good shit, or this sucks, man.
It could have been any of the Mexican land strains. Yeah, San Antonio del Bravo is not on the border.
So what are you smoking down there, Blue Moon? Well, I'm having a mix of some, I can't remember, and I can't remember. But it's a mix of two strains that I enjoy.
San Antonio is a pretty big city, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I like how they have that big circle road. Actually, they've got two of them around it. Makes nice feeders to get in and out of the city. I wish more cities would do that. Put a circumferential highway around the city so that you can go on the circumferential to get around the city proper to go into whatever exit you actually need to.
So the reason I played our Grow segment song was in honor of our pal Darcy, who better be fucking listening because he's got nothing else to do.
I can't see it because if we make him laugh, it's just going to hurt. So
okay, so we better not do that.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Darcy.
if he is listening, then yeah.
Fuck you, Darcy, you fucking piece of shit.
Get better soon, bud.
I called his wife. About an hour before the show to get an update to see how he was doing and stuff.
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, he's not going to be able to. He's not going to be home tonight. They'll keep him for the night." I said, "I already knew that." I said, "I was just calling to let you know that you had to come on the show to take his place."
You actually called Carla and said that?
Yeah, and said you need to have something ready for a Grow segment.
Oh, I would. You know what? You need to be recording this shit when you do stuff like that. Dude.
Yeah, no, the profanity coming out of her would suggest that I don't do that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I love Carla. She's awesome. I only pick on people I like.
I know.
So I pick on Darcy. I pick on Carla. I pick on
Holy,
Dale
who's making all that noise? Dale, you in the kitchen making a tea?
No, just finishing up.
I'm still looking at my supper thinking whether or not I want to finish eating it.
I enjoyed the sandwich I had while I was getting ready for the show.
I got sushi.
Have something after that. Sushi. Where did Mary Jane go? That bitch, she left.
Again?
Well, she made it half the show.
I suppose. He's smoking Kryptonite. Blue, or she. Could be a she. I'm sorry there, Blue Moon. Could be a male, could be female.
Don't tell us. We want to keep this relationship
as
Just
Gender
be
neutral.
Gender neutral. You can
Yeah.
be whoever you want. If you want to be a princess on the moon, you can be a princess on the moon.
Well, wait. Now they said skunk and mostly kryptonite, so we could stay gender neutral and just call them a pothead. But it's a guy. That's fine. Oh,
If you'd like to call in and be insulted by our hosts, you can.
yeah. Feel free to jump on board. We can trash everybody.
We're equal opportunity assholes.
We should get Blue Moon to come on though and tell us what the cannabis situation is in Texas.
Well, maybe
Because
maybe he can do that one day. Sure.
we haven't heard from anybody from Texas, have we?
Yeah. Jesus, our friend there, the cop, the Leap guy,
Yeah, but
Howard J. Woolrich.
yeah, he's a little different. I mean, I want somebody that actually isn't a former member of law enforcement and has a different take on what the view actually is.
Oh, well, you're no fun.
I mean, it's all good.
Look, she came back. She actually came back.
I didn't think it was good there, Blue Moon.
Now, she got a onesie for us.
I don't know what happened.
Why couldn't you change while we were? Never mind.
Oh, I can. Okay, I'll redo it. I'll redo it.
Hey, did you?
Just so you know, she wears clothes under the onesies.
Did you go as a kid to see the Harlem
Well, yeah,
Globetrotters when they came through town, Marcel?
No, but I went as an adult.
I used to go. My dad used to take us every time to Maple Leaf Gardens when they came into Toronto back when it was Meadowlark Lemon and Curly Neal, all the originals.
Yeah.
Are they
And
like
just,
fancy?
they've
like
just had an
tricks?
anniversary. They've been around so long. They're still doing the same fucking thing, and they're playing the same fucking team.
And they're doing a lot of the same gags that they did because
you know what?
I
As a
used to watch them as a kid.
5-year-old watching Meadowlark Lemon, a huge man rip down the fucking court and get a basket every fucking time off of Curly Neal's back. You know, I mean, like that's when
Chrissy and I went and saw
entertainment
them
was
about
entertainment.
15 years ago, and it was
That's
hilarious.
real entertainment. That's what entertains. Like going to the Barnum and Bailey's. I've been watching Nick Walenda's show on Prime TV where he goes around and does different stunts in different places.
Oh yeah.
And Nick
I've been
Walenda,
watching Catfish.
Yeah, do you know who I mean? You know who Nick Walenda is?
Do you?
Yes.
Like, do you guys know this team?
No.
The
Bananas?
Savannah Bananas.
No.
Okay,
The what?
so they're called the Savannah Bananas. They're like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Oh.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
like the best. They'll like to catch the ball. They'll like do a backflip to catch the ball. Just
Oh, cool.
yeah. Sorry. Get distracted.
Yeah. No, we went and saw Harlem Globetrotters about 15 years ago, Chrissy and I. It was awesome.
Yeah, tightrope.
But I started watching Catfish a while back on Crave, and because I started out in the internet when the internet started, catfishing was pretty normal then, but it never had a name, right? And now I'm watching these people and I'm thinking, how stupid can some of these people be not to realize that they may not be talking to who they think they're talking to, right? And that's exactly what it boils down to. So back when we had Telnet and message boards and all of that shit, and a name like Blue Moon, you had no idea if you were talking to a male or a female.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then you'd have to
I ran
ask
IRC chat rooms
ASL.
back then, so yeah.
And you say ASL, and they'd tell you, and
Yeah.
then you had to take them for their word.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was before that, Mary Jane.
Yeah,
Okay, you know,
I'm-
They didn't do the ASL then, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
They don't do it anymore either.
Unless you were standing in front of that person, until you did that, you had no idea who you were talking to, male, female, kid at all. It didn't matter. We changed that when we started using video cameras.
Right, because we never had video cameras. There was no FaceTime or anything like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah.
So catfishing was way easier then, and I'll admit I've done it because it's fucking hilarious. But usually you let them know so they can, at least understand why they're the brunt of your joke type thing. Now, in this day and age, everybody's got a camera or access to a camera.
Yep.
Right? And there's so many different platforms such as Facebook, Messenger, FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, StreamYard.
We're on
right?
all of them, 7 p.m. every Friday evening on 420radio.ca.
Yeah, and it's so easy for somebody to say, well, let's FaceTime.
You
If
know, and
somebody,
I
if
don't
you're
like that.
chatting with somebody and you're thinking of getting into a romantic relationship,
I
and
don't like that.
you
That's
suggest that
actually
you
rule number one. Do the video as quick as
have
you
a Zoom
possibly
meeting or
can.
something like that, and they come out with an excuse of they don't have a camera,
Before the internet,
get
we were
rid of them.
talking about it earlier, there were party lines, and you used to call into these party lines, and whoever was on the line you talked to, and if you got along with that person, you gave them your phone number, they called you, you started conversations, all and blah, 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 blah. That's what we used to
Yeah,
do.
but that's
Right,
the
but you
biggest
could
running
tell from
joke
the
from back in the day. You know, the sex workers,
But you
the
didn't know
sweet,
what the person
sexy
on the...
voice.
I could
Yeah,
hear
that's
a
the thing. You
female.
don't know what they look like.
I could hear a female, but I didn't know the age of that person back then.
Well, you also don't know what they look like.
That's right. Now,
I'm sorry, I'm vain.
luckily, I had good luck. I had good luck. So,
I should do it.
I met
I've
somebody
never
who I
called
got
into one
very
of those
serious with
lines.
on the party lines.
Yeah, but see, I've
Are you
never
talking
called
about
into
party lines or chat lines?
I'm talking
chat
about
thing.
party
Chat
lines,
lines.
not the 100, 900 fucking call me baby, not those. I'm talking you pick up the phone, you call a centralized number, and it's usually an area where there's cottages or
that
whatever.
sort of party line.
That's where the party line theory started. And then you had all these businesses who would operate a party line where you call a centralized number and you go into a bank of people who you can meet. If you don't like them, you press 9 or it deletes them out of
like
your...
a 5-second or a
Yeah.
30-second thing. I
Exactly.
remember that.
And
I
if
used
you
to
like
get
them, you
booted.
connect live
I used to
and
get
you
booted from
chit
that
chat.
all the time because they're like, "We're sorry, but you sound like a minor," and I was like, "Fuck."
I've
'Cause I
never
was.
never done it.
Well, I mean, that's, we went from real people hanging out at high school to a very antisocial society in the 90s, which has turned into a society of people who either think they're sick or they're not and don't know how to have conversations with anybody anymore.
Think they're sick or they're not.
Like maybe they are or they're not.
Or maybe they are sick and they don't think they are.
Right.
No, I don't know. I have no hope for humanity.
Me neither, bud. Me neither.
I honestly don't see a way out. The way the world is going, I honestly don't see a way out for humanity to survive.
People are fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
Eventually, it's humanity is going to destroy itself.
I hope that we have uplifted your evening.
Yeah. Yeah, let me cheer
Made
you up.
you feel special today.
I feel like empires have risen
Little ray
and
sunshine.
fallen for many, many years. It's going to happen again. I think it's time for a new leader.
Just because your mother has told you you're special every day of your life doesn't mean you're actually special there, Buttercup.
And if she told you you can do whatever you want, she's wrong.
She's a fucking liar.
Yeah. Because that's not true.
So next week, Mary Jane won't be with us because she's going to evolve into what?
Nope. Evolve. No, I'm going to Elevate.
Oh,
The
Elevate.
Elevate Expo Cannabis Expo.
Where's that?
It's going to be in Etobicoke. It's 4 days, Tuesday through Friday.
Well, please record a little bit for us.
Is this
Oh
like
yeah,
a
we're going and doing media. So
this
anything
illegal
we
market
post.
type thing, or is this
Yeah,
a
it's B2B. There's going to be retailers, bud tenders, LPs. So basically, I don't know if you know Jazz Samra. He is the owner of Sativa Bliss, the founder of VIP Media, which actually is doing the Elevate Cannabis Expo. And what he's done is he's created a network of people within the industry, so that way like they can communicate with each other. He even has like a group chat with like, I can't even remember how many store owners and managers are on there. So like if there's a new product that hits the market, that's like, you know, a way to communicate. But there's going to be education sessions on like all kinds of different things, and he's got it geared. Each day is for different things. Like one is for retailers, one is for bud tenders, one is for LPs, one is for the I think the last
for
one's like
him.
an expo thing.
Remember what was that quote
Yeah.
about 10,000 people?
And I think he said it was like 90, 95 or 90% Canadian companies.
The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject. I'll just leave it as that. See, that Marcus Aurelius was a smart guy.
That's one of the reasons why I'm excited about this, because it's literally 4 days of like, I like I'm not going to discredit any other expo or event because they all have their benefits. Like some of them are like let's just go and hang
Car
out.
shows, and some of them are.
Well, some of them are for everybody. Like for example, Lyft has it for like any consumer can go in, a bud tender, an LP, like
Still
anybody.
a car show.
But at this one, there's not your basic consumer. So it's literally, we're just trying to educate the people in the industry. And
But
all
educate them what is the thing? Are you educating them what the black market knows or what they think they know?
Well, there is quite a few of the speakers that have like for example, I know Katy Perry just off the top of my head because I've been going through the like schedule and whatnot, which you can find online at
Katy Perry, the singer?
Elevate. No, Katy Perry, the owner, founder, the CEO of Toke Cannabis.
Yeah, I
I think she has like multiple stores now.
She does.
In and around Toronto, but like she came from Legacy, so there are a lot
She
of those.
She was a part of the original Legacy
Yeah.
crowd out of Ontario. Yes.
When I first met Katy Perry, I know I seen her at a 420 or a global marijuana march with a megaphone in her hand, and she was speaking, but I didn't really
Probably.
pay too much attention because it was kind of like, oh, there's a chick over there standing doing a speech.
Yeah,
and
there
I
were
was
50
headed
other
this
chicks
way.
doing it too, though.
You know what I mean? But
Mojo.
the first year that I actually like, the time that stuck with me, Al, you were there. You and I went to the MP's office or some
Oh,
shit
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah, I
Toronto
remember that. Yeah,
because we were trying to like, still I don't understand why cannabis is still the only medication that's taxed in Ontario or in Canada and double
was
taxed
right in the
because
village,
it's
yeah.
excise tax.
Yep. That was
So,
in the
but like
village.
I remember when Al and I went to go smoke a joint, I had a sign and I was like, hey, and I said to the chick beside me, I said, can you hold this? It was Katie.
Ah, okay.
So that's when we started chatting, and yeah, that was a great day too. Like any day I get to go out and be an actual advocate, those are the days that I enjoy entertaining. I love being a podcaster. I love interviewing, but advocacy is where my fucking heart lies. Like Grass on the Hill, stuff like that. So education, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they're going to teach.
I'm more for the medical side, and 31% cannabis is not medical.
And we also have work to do there too, because that is about to come, the rules and regulations. And one of the things that Ross said on the podcast that we did was that hopefully with those changes, because he's been in talks with Health Canada to bring in-person medical access where people can actually go and ask questions and receive cannabis.
The
at
only,
the
yeah,
same
the
time.
only way that you can do something like that is through what Lenny's doing. Who we'll talk about it next week with Lenny. His Optimus Cannabis is a medical only dispensary, online dispensary as well.
Yeah, see, but do they
In
have an
Nova
actual
Scotia.
store in Nova
No,
Scotia now?
no, he
No.
only does online orders. But
But
you
Yeah, I
can
had no
order
idea
out.
Truro didn't do that anymore.
What?
I had no idea Truro didn't do that anymore.
I
Churro's
didn't
only
either.
doing
It was
only
Very
doing rec.
few LPs are doing medical now because they all went after the rec market
Want
and
that big
stopped.
buck.
Exactly. And they think everybody wants really high THC, but people get higher off of low THC.
Look, if my
Mhm.
pharmacist said to me, I got a strain that they say will work really well for your ADHD, would you like to try it? I would say yes, please. I don't get that question anywhere. You know, I
You
just
can't
found out. I
well,
just
you
because
found
can't,
out
you
there's
my
can't do that
doctor.
in the rec market.
I
It's
just found
against
out
the
my
rules.
doctor of almost 40 years is retiring, and I'm dumbfounded. I feel like I'm getting a fucking divorce, and I don't like it. You know, because
see,
he's been one of those doctors that if I had a question for him, he would answer my question, or he would find the answer. Yes, no, maybe. It wasn't just I don't know.
Yeah,
And you don't get that from the younger doctors now.
that's the
Okay,
situation I'm in.
they are
well, no,
truly practitioners.
Which is sad because if you think about it, family doctors, if they don't fix the problem, you're just going to keep going back to them.
We need pharmacists to be able to prescribe as well, because, and I know they can, but only in certain situations, because
in certain medications.
yeah, like I'm not. The only medications that I take now are for my diabetes. I'm not going to have a hard time getting a doctor, even at the emergency room, to continue that prescription once my doctor retires.
Right.
But
The problem
it's
is
still the
finding a new
anxiety
doctor.
behind that. I don't want to be an emergency room guy. I did that already. Thanks.
So,
You know?
are you looking for a new doctor now?
I have a year. He's given me a year worth of prescriptions.
So, why aren't
And
you looking today for a new doctor?
because I
Because
just
this,
got
you
the
should.
letter.
this is
There
this
is a
whole
waiting
thing.
list.
Takes a
to
while,
put
dude.
on.
I just
And we
got the
just
letter.
we went through this whole thing earlier. No, you got that letter like 2 weeks ago because I remember you
Took me
saying that
5
you get a
years.
divorce,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But
it was 6 years for me.
the day you got that letter is the day that you should have got your name on the waiting list for a doctor.
There's no there. Okay. Well, here's the thing, though. Okay.
Our province has a waiting list. I've been on it for 5 fucking years.
There's no doctor here in town anymore. I have to wait until one comes into town to even get on a waiting list. The only
Well,
thing.
no, you can get on a waiting list for one of the teledoctors.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can.
Right.
Yeah. And I will. I'm not worried
Almost-
about it. But let me speak for a sec, Marcel. What I'm
Yeah.
getting at, I'm not worried about having to find a doctor. What I'm worried about is the anxiety of that. Do you get what I mean? I
totally understand.
I think
I don't
Marcel's
have- I
trying to
won't
make
have-
you
What
avoid
I'm trying to
more
do is make
anxiety
it-
later.
Dale is right. I will not have that kind of a relationship with my next
Got to build
doctor.
trust again.
Right.
Right. I mean, this is a doctor who I have open conversations with about cannabis before cannabis was legal. This is a doctor that I've been having for the last 10 years conversations about psilocybin. Well, for 5 years about mushrooms and psilocybin. He was very on board because he knew my father, and he sent people to see my dad, who was a psychiatrist, right? So he knows that, like, I'm not dicking around. I'm not just trying to find a buzz, because if I was, I would have been getting perks from him the whole fucking time. You know what I mean, man?
My doctor learned about cannabis from me.
Well, mine as well, because
referred patients to me. Let me finish.
First question
referred
was
patients to me. You didn't let me finish.
Yeah.
But he referred patients to me to talk to them about cannabis.
Yes.
Got cancer in his throat. Wouldn't listen to me. Went the chemo route. He's now in a nursing home
Oh, that's too bad.
because the chemo destroyed half his fucking brain.
That's too bad.
Right. So I mean, and he knew what cannabis could do and how it could help because he had patients come and talk to me about it.
My doctor did not, as you know, because you've been around a while.
Yeah.
And he said to me, our first conversation is, I don't know anything about doses. That was his first issue. For about 2 years, he was humming and hawing, dancing around. And then finally he said, well, you didn't bring me your papers. So, but since then, he's learned about doses. He has a lot of other patients on using cannabis. I was going to say on the dope. And now he knows a little bit more. He was learning about the whole mushroom thing. And it's just sad because he is a doctor.
Hmm. So was
A
mine.
doctor,
My doctor wouldn't let you leave the office until every question you had was answered.
exactly.
And
That's
I've
a
had
good doctor.
appointments where we would turn around, he would send out emails and make calls while I was in, have me go sit in the waiting room, see other patients. Then as soon as he got those answers, have me come back in and finish off the appointment type thing. I had one appointment with him, which was 4.5 hours long. He would not let me leave until we had exhausted every possibility of what we were trying to figure out.
Half my life, he's been my doctor, dude.
Yeah, well, mine wasn't half my life, but it was my sick life. And as I got better, he was stunned. So he learned firsthand the power of cannabis. And it got to the point where we laugh about things that were coming out that they were saying about cannabis, like hyperemesis and shit like that, right? The first time I mentioned to him, he sounds like bowel obstruction. And that's exactly what it sounds like, is a bowel obstruction. In most cases, it is a bowel obstruction, right? So I miss him, and I haven't had a doctor since. Why?
You know,
Because I'm one of the 25% of this province that can't get a fucking doctor.
I stopped seeing him, and I had a doctor up in Durham, Mount Forest area. And then when I came back to the city, I went right back to him, and he says, like, I thought I just sent all your stuff up there. I said, yeah, I moved back. He went, oh, okay. You know,
We're at the
it's not
6 minutes
easy, though.
left mark, Al.
Yeah, I know. I see that. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your point?
Well, because I don't want us to get cut off without you playing your ending spiel, and I forget how many hours long that is.
It's not that long. 23 seconds, you ass.
I was smoking Darcy's hash, so I have no concept of time. But I do know I need a gummy.
I hope that Darcy is feeling better.
Me too.
And I hope that he has enough in him to join us next week, and Lenny as well.
I've come to a new routine that I figured out for my health and well-being. If I don't eat a gummy before I go to bed, I can't get up in the morning.
Okay, so a friend of mine's daughter has seizure issues.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been having some work done upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Has another one, another operation coming up as well. And she had some gummies the other day and slept right through. She was actually quite amazed because she usually says, "No, I don't want to try that shit."
Yeah. Well, I've always said cannabis can cure a lot of things, but it can't cure stupid. And if you're too stupid to at least try it, then I'm at the point now that you get what you deserve.
I give you that.
Right.
If you've got a block in your mind over cannabis that does not allow you, like my father with Parkinson's, shaking like, la, 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 I don't want to try anything that takes over my mind like that. My father was a psychiatrist, a pill doctor.
Yep.
Okay, with Parkinson's, and the ending was not good. So at least try it. My sister tried it. The whole time she's been in Alberta, she's been using cannabis. But then it got to the point where she was having anxiety and stuff like that. More so, I think, about taking the right thing. And so she stopped. And now she doesn't have any issues. She's sleeping better. And, she started taking melatonin and she's sleeping.
Yeah. Actually, I was just reading up on something here today, and I forget the name of it. I'll have to look it up again. But it was it was a TikTok video or one of them stupid things. And the guy was talking about 7 different natural remedies that they don't want you to know about. Things like zinc and magnesium and things. But this was Solera or something like that. And it basically, it'll give you the best night's sleep you've ever had and mental clarity. So a lot of people with ADHD are using this and stuff like that. And so I want to find out more about it.
Blue Moon says COVID needed a hobby. On that note, we shall say goodnight. Thanks for listening. We're here every Friday. This is the 420 Radio Show. Usually Darcy and Lenny are here too. Maybe next week.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a full house. No, we won't, because Mary Jane's not going to be here.
Mary Jane won't be here.
Way to go.
We'll put a
Way to
picture
ruin it.
up. We'll put a picture up. It's okay. All right.
And Blue Moon, anytime you want to come on, you let us know, man.
There you go.
Yeah, you can come on next week. Take my
Bring you
place.
on. And, and fill us in on the cannabis situation of Texas.
There you go. All right. Say goodnight, guys.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night,
Good night. Have a good one.
So what are you doing? Nothing. Why not? Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website. Sounds like a cool website. Yeah, it's alright. Oh, I might have it. You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
We are the Cannabis Broadcasting Group here